Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Becka Leathers, a sophomore from Choctaw, Oklahoma, who recently won the 128-pound title at the Bill Farrell Memorial Open. And Becka, that tournament acts as a qualifier for the World Team Trials. What kind of competition did you find at the tournament?
Well, there were two tournaments going on at the same time, so I competed in the Open International Tournament, and a lot of other athletes around my same weight were competing at the non-Olympic World Team Trials. So I found some good competition, and it was really like my first tournament back since this summer. So I faced some pretty good competition, get on the mat, kind of feel it out again this year.
You also recently wrestled at the NWCA All-Star. What was that atmosphere like?
That was actually like such a cool experience because first of all, I was wrestling Haley Aguero, who I had been training with all summer. So it was great to see her, and the atmosphere was awesome. Like, they just do a really great job at promoting college wrestling and showing the sport and make it a really cool event with like everybody gets their own gear, and they had this gladiator style mat. It was a really cool event.
You mentioned Haley Aguero. You were her training partner for the Olympics in Rio this summer. What was that experience like, and how did it prepare you for your wrestling?
Oh, that was an incredible experience. You know, we joked around last year, and she said, I'm going to cut to 48 and make the Olympic team and take you as my partner. And I was like, yeah, sounds cool. And then it all happened, and just training with her this summer, getting to be around not only her but all of the Olympians and learning from them. Like, I just learned so much, and it really shows in my wrestling now. Just even coming back to OCU in the room, it shows. It just made me sharper and a better wrestler altogether.
You were a national champion last year. Talk about your path to the national championship and what's it like wrestling with that title now this season?
The path, it didn't really change much for me because I always have had success and want to be the best and want to continue to have success. And wrestling with the title isn't anything really new for me. So just staying at the top and trying to show everybody why I'm there.
How did you get interested in wrestling, and what was it like wrestling at Choctaw?
Oh man, wrestling at Choctaw. Okay, so I got into wrestling just basically watching my older brother do it. And of course I grew up in Choctaw, which is a solid wrestling school, in Oklahoma, which is a solid wrestling state. And so it was a fight. I mean, I grew up wrestling boys throughout high school, and that's just tough in itself, you know, strength and speed and trying to train so I could beat those guys too. As a female, it's a fight, but it was awesome. It paid off when I step on the mat against girls, for sure.
What's your major here at OCU?
Major is business accounting right now.
So what career plans do you have when wrestling's over?
Honestly, I want to use my degree just as like a way to get a job as a coach. I want to coach at a D1 level. So I gotta have an education to be able to do anything in coaching even. And so I would even use it to work to just spread women's wrestling. Like, there's a lot of nonprofits to spread women's wrestling, and I could totally see myself getting involved with something like that.
All right, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Becka Leathers. You can follow the Stars wrestling team on OCUsports.com.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to track cross-country coach Matt Aguero. The Stars compete in the NAIA Championships coming up this weekend. And Coach, tell us about the course where the NAIA Championships will be held and how your team has prepared for the course in the time allotted.
Well, it's North Farms there in Illinois. It was changed mid-season from North Carolina. It's what I've been told. We don't have any athletes that have ran it before, but just from talking to some other coaches that have ran at that course, it's kind of rolling hills, similar to the national meet a few years ago that was in Lawrence. We will get a chance to go and run the course a couple times before that we actually compete on it at the national meet. We have been able to get some hill work in, so I feel like we're pretty prepared.
On the women's side, Aminatou Olawara has had a terrific season for you. What has propelled her to the success that she's had?
One thing, she's very talented, and then she's also an extremely hard worker. She does all the, as far as training goes, and then all the extra stuff as well. As soon as we finish practice, we get to stretching. She finishes stretching. She goes straight into doing core work, doing all the little things to get better. She's been great all season, running some amazing times for us.
You also have a returning All-American, Sarah Moore. What kind of leadership has she provided?
Well, it's good when you have a leader that does the hard work. That's a senior that puts in the work as well, and that's what Sarah Moore does. I think she's a 6 or 7 time All-American. She was a cross-country All-American last year, won the conference meet last year, and then a couple weeks ago was runner-up to Aminatou. So she has a really good chance to do some big things at the national meet too.
On the men's side, a couple of freshmen have performed very well, Max McNeil and then Miha Roguski also. Tell us about those two and what they've brought to the team.
They've been running unbelievable. To have two young guys come in and perform like they have. And every meet we go to, the conference meet's brand new to them. So it's kind of a learning process for some of this stuff. But for them to step up and run so well, it's really propelled our team on the men's side.
You also have a couple of returning All-America seniors, Mackenzie Wapapa-Harris and David Mountford as well. What kind of seasons have they had, and what are you looking for from them?
Well, Mackenzie, he has the chance to be a 4-time All-American, which is pretty special. And not too many people can accomplish that. So we're very excited about that. Dave, his season is he's had a lot of injuries, been kind of banged up. He's been kind of running through them, doing a lot of different things to get healthy. And he's starting to get healthy now. He ran the conference meet and wasn't 100% and plans to run the national meet as well. But the thing about Dave, a 90% Dave is a lot better than a whole lot of runners. He was 5th at the national championship last year, so hopefully he can perform well for us.
We talked about a couple of your freshmen, but overall you have a very young team on the men's side. How have they developed as the years progressed? We
do. We actually, we had four freshmen in that our top 5 at the conference meet. The 2 you mentioned, Max and Miha. Then also Oakland Davis and Isaac Rowland. They're redshirt freshmen for us. Lucas Harrington has ran well for us as well. He's a sophomore. So, losing Dave and Mackenzie to graduation for cross country will be a big hit. But we have those four guys, and actually 5 with Lucas that will continue the tradition for us. You guys are 3-time national champions. Mm-hmm. What kind of pressure, if any, does that put on the guys this year? Well, you always want to repeat. I think that just the way our season went, we've had some injuries, had some sicknesses, that we might be viewed as an underdog. We're not as ranked as high as we have been in the past going into this national championship. So, I think these guys are using it as fuel, just kind of embracing the underdog feel, which we haven't been able to do the last few seasons. All right, we're talking to OCU track and cross country coach Matt Aguero. You can follow the Stars as they compete in the NAIA championships on OCUsports.com.